This month is Military Consumer Month, and last year, Oregon service members, veterans, and spouses reported more than 80 scams. I sat down with Don Johnson yesterday with the Better Business Bureau to learn how you can protect your family. I'm Jaimie Hays, and we are here with Don Johnson with BBB, and she is here to talk to us about military scams and their families and what they go through with these scams. Can you kind of talk to me about some of them?
Yeah, so July is actually Military Consumer Month, so it's a great time to be talking about this, but we see these kind of scams all year long, targeting military service members, veterans, even family members of those who have served or are serving. Last year alone in 2018, we took in close to 100 reports from our service members or veterans who have been scammed, and that amounted to close to $22,000 lost.
Wow.
So very sad for these people who are served our country or are serving our country. The number one scam targeting them that we see is tax collection scams. So those are either you receive a phone call or an email saying you owe taxes. If you don't pay them right now, then we're going to get the law enforcement involved and you'll be arrested or something of that sort. So something to always look out for is that these scammers are always going to be very immediate, saying you need to send in this payment right away. The real IRS is always going to send you a letter before they call. And they're never going to ask you to pay fees by a prepaid debit card, a gift card, or by wiring money.
And what happens, I was reading here, the grandparents scam, they want you to wire money to cover their injuries overseas. What can families do at home to make sure they're not part of these scams when their loved one is overseas?
So it's always the same message, no matter what the scam is, go back to the source. So if you feel not right about a tax collection message that you received over by email or over the phone, call the IRS number on the IRS website and tell them what happened. Is this legitimate? If you receive one of these phone calls saying that your service member, family member has been injured overseas, go back to the source. Try to get in touch with them or their commanding officer. It's always a good idea to go back to the source and verify these calls.
And how can an individual do when they start getting these calls? How can they warn you guys that this is happening? Do they go to the police? Do they go to you?
So report it everywhere. You can report it to the BBB, which is always a great idea, at bbb.org/scam tracker. And we track these scams, and then we work closely with law enforcement. So we work with the FBI, we work with local law enforcement. But it's always a good idea to also report a scam to the FBI.
And how do these scammers get our information? How do they find our phone numbers? How does this happen?
Everywhere. I mean, you just never know. I mean, we're out there so much nowadays through social media, through all of our online shopping. So you just have to be really cautious.
All right, thank you so much. And if you'd like to know more information about these scams, how to protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, especially inside the military, you can go to our website at KEZI.com.